Hey guys, welcome to the Hollaby Homestead. Today is actually kind of a warm day for the first time in a while. So when I say warm, it's like +1 or +2 Celsius. I'll put that right there, what that is in Fahrenheit. We've been having like -10, -15, -20. It's been really cold. Warmed up today because we're supposed to get a ton of snow. As you can see, it hasn't started happening yet. It was supposed to be happening by now, but we'll see how much snow we actually get. So I just want to fill you guys in on kind of what we've been up to. Because it's been so cold outside, we haven't really been doing many things outside. Just because it's cold. Nobody likes to work in the cold. But we have been working on the house on the inside. So I'm excited to show you where we got with that. And we've been painting, and we put in some new light fixtures and, you know, kind of the things that we were supposed to do the first winter that we lived here, but we never got around to it. So anyways, this is our second winter. We got around to it now, I guess. So thumbs up for that. Anyways, I'm going to show you that. I'll give you guys a quick update on our chickens and roosters. I'm over here at the Rooster House, and Gerald was just outside, but as soon as I walked over here, he went in because he's shy. But the roosters are doing all right. You can see how much snow we actually got. That was like a 1 snowfall that happened. That was a couple weeks ago. You see the roof is like that too. And we've been putting straw down for their feet so it's not so cold, because anybody who has chickens knows that they do not like the snow. But they have been coming out, and they're still quite happy to come out, and they go in at night, and it's nice and warm in here. This is an old ice hut that's insulated, so that's Gerald right now. He came out to say hi. So our roosters are happy, and I'm going to take you over and show you how the hens are doing. So here I am over at the hen house. Every week or so, depending on how it looks, we bring a bale of straw over here and let them spread it out. And like over at the roosters, it keeps their feet warm. It encourages them to come out of their house. But I will say, when the temperatures are really cold, like -27, they are not interested in coming out, which is fine. They come out most days. Today they're all out because it's warmer, so they're happier. So anyways, I'm going to show you some chicken TV. I'm going to film them up close, and you can see how they're doing. So despite all the cold temperatures we've been getting, our chickens are still happily laying. Their house is actually not insulated the way the Rooster House is, and we don't really have a need to do that. Mainly because when they go in there at night, they all kind of huddle up, and they seem to be fine. We haven't lost any, and everybody's still laying. We don't have a light in there. You know, and everybody told us that if there's no heat and no light in the wintertime, that they would stop laying. But they're still laying. On a, like, on a cold, really cold day, instead of like the usual amount of eggs we get, maybe there'll be like 2 or 3 less than what we normally get. But honestly, at least for our situation and our setup, and I don't know what we're doing differently than anybody else, our chickens are still laying normally. And but we do have to get out here quick so they don't freeze. But we've learned what time they generally lay, and we come out here a few times a day, especially if it's really cold, to catch them before they freeze. The other thing is we have a chicken. Her name is Bernadette, and she's been broody from day one. And at first we were like trying to stop her from being broody. But in the wintertime, it turns out that it's kind of an extra precaution to keep the eggs warm because she sits on them, and we don't have a rooster in there, so there's no chance of them fertilizing or anything like that. So we don't let her sit on the eggs for long, but if we don't get out here for an hour and it's really cold, she does sit on them and keeps them warm. So I guess that's one benefit to a broody hen, but she's a bit feisty to get the eggs out from underneath her. She's not too happy about it, but we haven't been attacked or anything, but we kind of have to push her off to the side and grab the eggs as quickly as we can. But yeah, so Bernadette, thank you, Bernadette, for keeping our eggs warm. Couldn't do without you. Anyways, so this is our chickens, and like I said, nothing's changed. No light, no heat. They're still laying. We're still getting a ton of eggs a day. We're selling a ton of eggs and doing all right with it. So our hens are very happy, I guess. Well, the first project we did was painting the kitchen and taking down the old fan and the old light, which was like a fluorescent, terrible light. That was full of flies. Really gross. So we painted the kitchen because we took the wallpaper off when we first moved in, and it left all these terrible marks on the wall, and the wall was in really poor shape, so we had to spend a couple of days repairing the walls before we could paint. But I did film some of the wall work that we did. So before I show you the finished project, I'm going to cut here to when we started the project. So here we go.
Sparkle.
You want to show the YouTube world what you use and how to use it? Cool.
Yeah, it's just filling in holes and stuff, and you can fill in cracks.
Testers. This thing? I'm filming because then you won't get shocked this time.
So then 20, can you pass me my colors? And then I need my flashlight.
Here, I'll hold the light for you. Give me the light.
I don't even know if it's off all the way.
Oh, what happened there?
Not connected, right? I thought it wasn't.
Isn't wiring exciting?
No, One that's old wiring.
Yeah, no house fire. Same circuit as the fridge.
Which is on the same circuit as that dining room.
Ooh,
Which that's okay because I can use it. I might. Yeah, I'll probably put a new circuit up on the fridge.
we are about to find out if the wiring is centered above the window or not. Okay. Yeah, I never realized how not white this ceiling is until you start putting white paint on it.
It's cream.
I think it was white at one time.
It's cream.
I think it was white. This just years of cooking and farming. Randy really wants to help.
Could we turn an orange cat into a white cat?
No.
Oh. We turn a orange cat into a white cat?
No.
How about the big black and white cat to a white cat?
No. If we do, I'm gonna zoom into your face.
You're probably doing that at home. Should we wipe your face?
No. Randy.
Randy, you want a white tail, Randy? I never knew we had a supervisor.
He's always been a supervisor. Well, supervisor's back. Instruction kitty. Ceiling looks good. First coat.
Look at here. You said you wanted the kitchen paint.
Yeah. So we've done this side of the kitchen and we're moving around. Looks good. Finishing parts for now. I think it looks really good. Yep. Okay, so we got a light and a fan for the kitchen, so no more work light. Pretty excited to see how this looks.
Me too.
So without further ado, here is the finished, mostly finished result of the kitchen. So here we go. We decided to go with a farmhouse gray for the kitchen, mainly because we do not want to paint this trim. I like this trim. This trim is a different color than the rest of the trim in the house, but I didn't want to try and match it to the rest of the house, so we went with this farmhouse gray. It's got, well, I would say that when we put the first coat on, and the lighting was different in here, it had a bit of like a mauve purple tinge to it, and I was a little scared. I will admit I was a little scared because I thought I picked the wrong color. After we did the second coat, it dried, it actually went into the type of gray that we wanted. So the reason we went with the gray was because it was neutral, and we're kind of limited on colors that we can pick because of this wood trim. So we are gonna do a backsplash behind the counter there. We just haven't gotten to it yet, but it made a huge difference. Just painting the walls so they didn't look so terrible, and painting the ceiling. And if you're wondering what that bag is, there was an old wood stove in here, and it piped through the house, and there is no longer a wood stove because it wasn't, I'll just be honest, it wasn't even safe. So we just put a bag over it because soot's been falling out, and so it's a bit messy. So we just taped a bag over the pipe. Eventually that pipe will come out and we'll cover the hole. But we did paint the ceiling, and the ceiling turned out beautiful. I'm really glad I painted the ceiling in here because it was really grungy. I thought the ceiling was white all this time until we actually started putting white paint on it, and then we realized that the old ceiling was not white, and I was a bit horrified. So So this is what we chose to do with the kitchen, and like I said, there's still some work to be done, but we did pick this cool light out here because there used to be a fluorescent like bar light that went along here. So we picked out this light, and it's kind of like our nighttime in the evening light. It gives enough light to do stuff in the kitchen, but it's not super bright. And then we installed this fan because it matches the fan in the dining room. So, but we just flipped the fan blades around for the black to match this light over here. So overall, I'm very happy how the kitchen turned out. I've been putting up with it for a year and a half, looking terrible and messy, and the walls being in such poor shape. So I'm so glad that we did this. Another reason that we picked this gray is that we do have this brick wall in here, and that's where the wood stove was against. And I kind of like the brick wall. It's messy right now, but it's actually our dog crate that's in front of it right now. I'd like to find a hutch for it, but the other reason we picked the gray is because it goes nicely with this brick. So I'm quite happy how it turned out. So our dining room we haven't painted yet, but when we moved in, it was already this color. It does need to be repainted. It is a little rough, but I really do like this color. And actually another point that I wanted to bring up, if you're wondering why in the kitchen we did the wainscoting, well, we didn't actually paint that. It was already that color, which is the same color as the dining room. And I was going to paint the wainscoting white. And after we did the walls, I ended up actually kind of liking like the gray with that color. So I'm leaving it for now, but let me know in the comments what you think. Should we paint the wainscoting white, or kind of repaint it this color? Because I mean, it is old paint. But for now, I'm kind of digging the gray with the gold, yellow, whatever it is. And the wainscoting does go all the way around. So I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think. Should I leave it or paint it white? So let me know. Well, our next big project was painting the living room, which I'm going to show you right now. So the reason that we went with this green, and honestly on camera it's not even showing how nice this color is. It's better to see in person, because it's one of those colors that during the day it's really bright, but at night and in low light it's quite a warm, darker looking color. So the reason we went with this color is that we were looking for a color that would go with this trim and not look so terrible, because we do not want to paint this trim. This doorway here is original pocket doors, and we have no interest in painting it. We think it's beautiful. It's our style. Some people would paint this, but we really don't want to. So we're kind of limited on colors based on what went with the trim. And you'll notice that the trim in the kitchen is a lot lighter or blonder than the trim in here and in the rest of the house. And I don't know why that is. We didn't do that. We bought the house like this, but for now I'm going to leave it. So I am in love with this color. The living room was like a beige white. It wasn't white and it wasn't beige, but it was just a little bit darker. And I didn't like it. And we also have this plate rail around the whole living room. So we painted the ceiling and we painted above there like a very standard white, and then just did the walls. So overall, I am absolutely in love with this color. It was a bit of a risk. I will say that the first coat that we put on, when it was wet and glossy looking, it looked terrible, and I thought that I made a horrible mistake by picking the color. Once we got the second coat on and it dried, it actually dried exactly to the color that we had picked off of the paint sample, whatever they call those. So overall, I'm very happy with this. It makes a statement, but still enhances the beauty of this trim, which I really wanted to keep and really wanted to bring out. So that's what we got up to in the living room. So in our front hall here, so that's our front door and there's our stairs. We haven't painted the walls yet, but planning on doing it the same gray that's in the kitchen, because the kitchen is just through there. So we kind of want to bring the color through, if that makes sense. But we haven't painted it yet. It's a lot of work because of the tall ceiling in here, and Dave's gonna have to do it because I'm no good on a ladder. But we did put a new light fixture in, and there was just kind of a basic light there. And I really like this light. It's got like crystal in it and it's really pretty. I'll turn it on for you here actually. Probably can't see it once it's on, but so we did put new light in the hall, which makes it look a lot nicer. And but eventually we will get around to painting the walls in here and the ceiling, because the ceiling is pretty rough, and up the stairs a bit. And we also have an upstairs landing that we want to paint as well. So the next house project that we got into, I tell you, if you live in a place where it snows like more than half the year, you have all the time in the world to get all your projects done inside so that you can spend the very little summer that you have literally outside the whole time. So we've been busy. So the next project that we're working on is the basement. And when I first looked at this place, I didn't really have any high hopes for the basement. It was a better basement than the basements that I've had before, which were just like rubble foundation. I've always had old houses and they've just been kind of storage points. But this basement is a little bit better and nicer. There's a wall down the middle of it, so there's two separate rooms. So we have a room with our furnace and our cistern and our laundry, which I will show you when I go down there. And then we have this other room, and up until a couple weeks ago, we were literally using it as storage because we had moved from a bigger house. And so the previous house we lived in, it was bigger, but the thing is, once we finish the third floor here, actually we're going to have more room. The issue is we're kind of still living out of boxes because we're still working on the house. And so downstairs was boxes that we couldn't unpack. Also, my last house had a giant kitchen, so I couldn't unpack my whole kitchen into here. I mean, I do like this kitchen, but I got spoiled at the last house with a huge kitchen. So it was just a sea of boxes down there, like with a little aisleway to walk through to go to the washer and dryer, and it was pretty embarrassing. So we bought a ton of totes, like Rubbermaid totes, and we went through everything down there. I didn't film it because nobody wants to see you going through stuff like that it would be, you know, a 3-day long video. But we got everything sorted, we got everything labeled, and so anyways, now we are working on the main room or the rec room down there, and I'll take you down there. Dave's working down there now, and he'll tell you what our plans are. So we do have a pretty easy access point. Our door to the basement is in the kitchen, and it's pretty easy to get into, so I'll take you down there and show you what's going on. So Dave has been working pretty hard down here in the last couple of days. Well, probably for the last couple of weeks. And it doesn't look like much now. It's just your standard basement. There he is. And but this room, like I said earlier, it was full of boxes. It's still a mess. We're still cleaning it up, so excuse the mess. But this room was entirely packed with boxes, and there was just a little aisleway to get to the washer and dryer, which is through that door, and it was awful. And so now we've cleaned it out, and I'll show you what the other part looks like. But this is where we're at right now. So Dave, do you want to tell us what this room is for?
Yeah, so this room is just another, like, kind of a rec room. We got a TV and another place to hang out, and we're gonna have, we got a treadmill and a rowing machine that we're gonna put down here. So we're gonna set the treadmill up in the corner there by the stairs, probably the rowing machine over there because it folds up. And then, might, in the corner there, do a little hobby that I like doing, so, but I don't know yet. I'll, when I start doing that, we'll film it.
And what's that hobby, Dave?
I got a model rail train that I'll probably set up there, but it's gonna take a while. It's not something that you can just throw up in a day. It's something that you work on over a number of months to years, kind of thing. So
we got our spare TV that we haven't used for the last year and a half down here. It's been sitting in a box. This is my beloved old TV stand that sadly doesn't fit upstairs because of the size of the room, but thankfully it can actually be in use again. And we got a couch here that we couldn't fit anywhere else in the house that reclines and stuff. And like he said, there's going to be a couple exercise equipment here. We got the tools back here. We got the exercise equipment to start trying to get healthy, and especially when it's too cold out, to go for a walk, go for a run. You know, it's a little bit nicer to do your exercise inside. Or if it's like really too hot outside, it is a lot cooler down here. So we've got a bonus room, and there's even a window. The other thing, the freezer we moved because it used to be in another spot and it was really inconvenient. Now it's at the bottom of the stairs, which is super convenient. And I'll show you, again, excuse the mess, but this is through that other doorway. So we have our washer and dryer in here. Eventually the washer and dryer will go upstairs to the second floor bathroom, but for now, that's where the hookups are. We're gonna put a door here just because it's colder in that room and just to kind of close off the sound and all that stuff. But in here, and again, you're gonna have to excuse the mess. It looks awful, but it's a million times better than what it did look like. So like I said, we got the Rubbermaid totes, and we sorted through everything and downsized, and so this is what we got. So we got our Christmas stuff easily accessible here, and then we went through and sorted the rest of the stuff, and it's all over here. And there's Here's my lovely washer and dryer. And so through here is our new furnace, our water cistern, which is what we need because we have a low recovery well. And so all the mechanical stuff, our UV light, is all over there. This piece of board is in the way. It's not normally like this, but we have a little mechanical room back here. So it's a lot better than what it was. And I hate showing my junk and my mess on camera, but you know, that's the reality. Like I said, we moved from a bigger house, so there's a lot of stuff to go through, and we both have a lot of keepsakes that we're trying to protect and save, and eventually when the third floor is finished, a lot of those keepsakes will go up there, but for now they're in these boxes. And Dave also put a foam board. This is our back door that walks out to the backyard, and in the wintertime it's drafty as all heck, so Dave put a piece of foam board there. We can open it if we need to, but for the winter we're not going in and out of here. The stairs there are covered in snow. There's no point. So it's just kind of block the draft. And Dave put a foam board where the dryer vent goes out, and also our outside water, which is right there. So we're working on it. It's nice to actually like feel like we got somewhere. Right, Dave?
Yeah.
So anyways, stay tuned when we do actually like finally finish this room. We'll show you kind of the final result. Probably gonna eventually like insulate and paint and do something with the walls around here, but for now it's a pretty decent room and it's a pretty decent size, so it's given us a bonus space. Well guys, that's all the updates going on around the homestead. Like I said, it's been too cold to be outside, so we've just been focusing on inside. So anyways guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
See ya.
You know how I said that it was supposed to snow today and it hadn't started and it didn't look like it was gonna snow? Well, here it is now. It's hard to see, but it's like turning into a whiteout situation. So anyways, lots of snow this afternoon and overnight and tomorrow, so probably gonna be plowing again. Anyways guys, take care.